And at W265CV Madison. Take us anywhere on the free iHeartRadio app. Talking Golf on the Golf Effect Network is on the air. Talking Golf is brought to you by American Transmission Company, ATC, helping you keep the lights on, businesses running, and communities strong. American Family Insurance, insure carefully and dream fearlessly. Oak Park Place, offering senior living options for the lifestyle you deserve, with amenities and services for a carefree, independent way of life. And by the Princeton Club, a premier health club that combines state-of-the-art equipment with a highly trained staff and convenient locations. Now, here are your co-hosts of Talking Golf, Dennis Tiziani and Paul Brown.
And from Cherokee Country Club at Madison, along with Dennis Tiziani, I'm Paul Brown. Dave McCann and Kevin Ryan are also here. Dave and Kevin are kind of behind the scenes. And before we go to Tiz and talk about the PGA, David, I'm going to ask you one more time. We did this last week as well. You can now watch the show as well as listen on radio. You can do it on YouTube. So, Mr. McCann, would you explain how they would do that, please?
Okay, we are on YouTube. What we do is you can go to YouTube. There is a search bar on YouTube. You search the Golf Effect, and then if you scroll through what they have for the Golf Effect search, you will see the logo for the Golf Effect here. It's the Steve Stricker silhouette. If you click on that, you can subscribe to the YouTube page. Then you can watch us live when we broadcast live. You'll be notified when we go live. And then you can also go back and look at past shows.
I don't know if we're ready for this, but anyway, it's a reality now. You can watch on YouTube. You like that idea, kind of, don't you?
That's just great. I like this, where we couldn't be seen and your facial
You still got
expression.
your jacket on there.
I know it. I'm going to keep
You
it
cold
on
or what?
Well, is it ever going to get over 50?
I was going to ask you about that. Seriously, Dennis.
Man.
This is really tough on golf courses, isn't it?
Oh, well, the course, gets by. The ground temperature isn't even, it's got to be roughly around 52 degrees for bent to survive or to grow. And it's still under 50 degrees, the ground temperature. So I feel bad for people that are trying to depend on rounds of golf to survive. It's bad enough to have a bad April, but now a bad May too. You're starting to get into a bigger percentage of their revenue, and it's not a good thing.
And that's universally the way it seems. Weather's bad all over. But the golf industry, as you're mentioning, there are key months where you make more, obviously, in the heat of the summer and that type
Well,
of
the shoulder months account for maybe 5 to 10% of your revenue. Shoulder months, like as in April and October, those months. It's June, July, and August. That's where the big revenue stream is, and but you need the shoulder months because you can't let what's happening in our place. Like I tell them, I've already got their money, so I don't have to worry about it.
You keep just saying, even if the weather is bad, just pay your dues.
Just pay your dues, and we're okay.
What were your impressions of the PGA Championship?
Well, I think it's gone backwards. You've got it down now where if you drive, the long hitter can make it. The rough doesn't make any difference if you're hitting a pitch and wedge out of it for the most part. But if you're trying to hit a 6-iron or a 5-iron out, it's a difference. And I think that we may have seen I think we've seen the last of public courses that are going to be major championship sites for a while because they're going off into other directions. They be in the PGA or major championship.
They are going to have a Ryder Cup there, though.
Yeah, there'll be a Ryder Cup, and that'll be okay. But I think I don't know if you'll see that business where you have to drive it. I mean, Steve, he was behind 30, 40 yards.
Yeah, we're going to talk to him about that.
And that sort of stuff. And I think really at some point in time, just like Tiger proofing Augusta National.
That didn't work.
Well, he just won. So that didn't work, So I think at some point in time, they're going to have to get where you can you get it out there maybe 300 yards. And at the end of 300 yards, you'll get some sort of a ravine or something down where you can't go across.
More positional golf.
Positional golf. Yeah. You got to bring some people in. I don't know how enjoyable. Of course, you can't tell with New York fans are different. How enjoyable it was to watch people making 5s and 6s and 7s. I mean, Augusta, made it longer and stuff, but still there are holes there that they really can score on. And, it made it enjoyable. One of the best majors that I've seen has been that Masters, the last one. But this one here, tough to do. That's a hard course, though. We were out there a few years ago. Steve and Mario both played in the Open, and Nick Price was on the 10th hole, and we were standing there waiting for us to go, to go off, and he's standing there. So he gets up to the tee and he jigs his club a little bit. All of a sudden he stops and looks up and he says, "Man, these fairways are getting narrow."
That was a walking path.
That was the walking path from the tee to the fairway.
Well, we'll find out what Steve thought about playing in the PGA Championship, and we'll be back with him right after this time out on the Golf Effect Radio Network.
Hi, I'm Andy North. Join me and my friend Steve Stricker as we launch Birdies for Health at the American Family Insurance Championship, June 21st through 23rd. Birdies for Health is an effort to support American Family Children's Hospital, UW Carbone Cancer Center, and people experiencing organ transplants, Alzheimer's, and eye diseases. Make a pledge for every birdie that's made at this year's American Family Insurance Championship, and all the money you donate will go toward research and helping people in Wisconsin. Visit birdiesforhealth.org.
Hi, this is Andy with the Princeton Clubs. Our summer launch event is going on right now because summer is just a few weeks away. And that means warm weather, fun activities, and relaxing by the outdoor pool. We make getting ready for summer easy. So join during our summer launch event. And it includes access to our 6-week summer prep group training program, nutrition guidance, one-on-one with our personal trainers, and a membership to our award-winning facility. It's everything you need to get into shape for an incredible Wisconsin summer. The summer launch event going on now at the Princeton Club.
Yes. It's time to play the University of Wisconsin golf course, University Ridge. Opening for play on May 1st with new bunkers and design changes, University Ridge is one of the best deals in the Midwest. The American Family Insurance Championship is less than 2 months away, but you can play one of the only public golf courses on the PGA Tour Champions prior to the event for under $100. For rate information or to book a tee time, check out universityridge.com. Play where the Badgers and the pros play, University Ridge.
At American Transmission Company, we help operate the most complex machine in the world, the grid. We know electricity is a necessity, and we help deliver it to communities that need it. We're helping build a more efficient, economical, and reliable electric system. Our ingenuity and innovation help deliver electricity that powers lives today and tomorrow. American Transmission Company, helping to keep the lights on, businesses running, and communities strong.
Right now, Cherokee Country Club is offering outstanding introductory golf memberships. You can join Cherokee as an individual member for $2,400. Depending on your age, you can get a family membership that starts at only $2,900. Check it out for yourself. What you're going to find is the best deal in Madison when it comes to joining a club. And by the way, your membership also allows you to use the outdoor pool. You can play tennis for court cost only and use all the facilities at the Princeton Club and go to the Madison Club. If you're a business, Cherokee offers a voucher program that allows you to purchase 20 rounds of golf, good for 18 holes with golf cart for only $1,500. What a great way to entertain your clients, customers, or employees. Cherokee also offers memberships for swimming and indoor and outdoor tennis. And the public is welcome to use the driving range, restaurant, banquet facilities, and you can book a wedding there. For more information, call 249-1000 or visit the website at CherokeeCountryClub.net. Hi, this is Paul Brown, longtime Badger sportscaster. My wife was only 57 years old when she started having trouble remembering things at work and getting lost driving home. That was the start of a heartbreaking 8-year journey that led to her eventual passing from Alzheimer's. Please don't ignore the 10 warning signs of Alzheimer's. Know where Alzheimer's hides. Find information at alz.org/Wisconsin.
Sponsored by the Alzheimer's Association.
W265 CV Madison.
And we're back at Cherokee Country Club in Madison, along with Dennis Tiziani. I'm Paul Brown. And joining us now on the phone is Steve Stricker, who played this past weekend in the PGA Championship out at Bethpage and the Black Course out there. Steve, overall, give us an evaluation of that course. Obviously, you're here. We're not playing it, but it sounded like it was a very difficult course to play.
Yeah, it was, Paul. It was very long. and very soft, so it played even longer. The rough was very thick. A few balls that I hit in there, well, most of the balls I hit in the rough, they would go right down to the bottom, and I was never able to get it on a green from the rough. The best I could do most times was just hitting it out maybe 100 yards or so. Yeah, it was very difficult, but it was in great shape. It was very fair. You had to play well. You had to, do everything well. You had to drive it well, hit good irons, and putt well. The greens were in great shape. I thought it was a very fair test.
Steve, is it fair to call it almost, if you will, it's a power game? It's turning into that in a course like that. You got guys like Brooks Koepka and Dustin Johnson who have such an advantage in terms of the distance they hit their drives.
Yeah, it is a power game, and Patrick Cantlay too. I played with him the first couple of days. He bombs it. Yeah, and that's what it is nowadays, But and Brooks had been getting a little bit of flack for winning these majors on wide open, long bombers type courses. But this is a course where you needed every aspect of your game. You had to drive it straight, and he did, and he does. So this is a different style golf course, I think, that he's won on. It was more like U.S. Open style, very penal out of the rough, and so it's cool to see him win, in a different style, and hopefully, calm down some of the critics.
Steve, from your perspective, if you're 30 yards behind these guys now in terms of length of drive, from your perspective, how does that deal with your situation, being that you're 30 yards further back? That's got to be a big challenge, right?
Yeah, it is a big challenge.
Yeah.
They're, the Patrick Cantlay, like I said, he hits it a long ways. He carries it about 305 to 310 in the air. And he would hit 2 clubs less than me, a club and a half to 2 clubs less than me on the par 3s. And then, then when he drives it on a par 4 or a par 5, he's 30 to 40 yards ahead of me. So right there, he's hitting probably 4 to 5 clubs less into these greens than what I'm hitting in there. And that's hard to compete. That's not my excuse for not making the cut. I mean, if I would have putted again like I'm capable of putting, I would have, made it into the weekend without any problem. But it's just that's the type of game that's played nowadays, and to compete and to win at the highest level, you got to do it all. You got to be able to hit it with some length. But if you don't, you got to find other ways, and that means hitting it in the fairway and being very precise with your irons.
We're chatting with Steve Stricker, and Steve Koepka, he's won 3 of the last 5 majors, 4 out of the last 9 that he's played in, and he's the 5th player in history to go wire to wire. That has not been done since Hal Sutton did it back in 1983. You're inside the ropes with guys like him. How would you analyze the way he's playing right now, and what really are his strengths? Yeah,
well, he doesn't have any weaknesses. He hits it long and he hits it straight. He's a very good iron player, and you can tell by his putting, he putts very well. So he really doesn't have any weaknesses. And he's got the belief and the confidence on his side that he's better than everybody and he's stronger. He puts in the time in the gym and on the golf course when he prepares and practices. So he's the newest age Tiger Woods, I mean, he's learned from Tiger and what Tiger's done over the years, and he's trying to take it to another level, and he's been playing great.
Steve, you're going to be playing in your 3rd straight major. You had a combination of 2 places potentially you were going to go this week. Understand you've decided to play in the senior PGA at Oak Hill. Tell us a little bit about Oak Hill. What kind of a golf course is it?
I've played a previous PGA championship here I'm not sure how many years ago. I think when Jason Duffner won it. And I actually played with Jason Duffner the first couple of days, and he shot 63 in one of the rounds. But it's a great old style golf course, much like what I just came off of at Bethpage Black, but not as difficult. From what I understand, the rough is up here. You know, it's May out here, right? And just like in Wisconsin, the grass is lush. It's wet. It's moist. And I guess that's what we've got here again this week too. So from what I understand, it's going to be another, emphasis or premium on getting it in the fairway and driving it straight. And you're going to need to play and have all facets of your game to win here this week as well.
Steve, you won your first major last week, and then of course you competed this past weekend on the PGA. Now you're looking at playing in another major on the Senior PGA Tour. Does that change your perspective in terms of your thinking of where you're going to play in the future, or is it status quo into what you had set up for the season?
Yeah, I think winning that first major, the Regions Tradition, kind of directed me in this line to play the Senior PGA to see if I can't win another one. And then I'm playing the Memorial Tournament next week in Columbus, Ohio, Jack's event, and we'll see where it goes. I'm still feeling like I've got some sort of game left on the regular tour, although I haven't showed any of that this year. But I'm very close to playing well. I need some momentum out there, some putts to go in, and I'm not far off, but it's fun to compete out here on the Senior Tour, this Champions Tour, and especially after winning that first one, it's fun getting in contention and trying to win, and I'm hoping to do the same again this week.
You mentioned Memorial. I was surfing the net today, and I came across something that Steve Stricker, 10 of his best shots ever. And I'm going to give you a quick second or two to think about this. I'll tell you that they listed number 10 as your putt to win 2011, the John Deere Classic. The one that they had number 2 was back in 2011 at Memorial, where you had the hole-in-one. And when you hit it, the video showed that you didn't even like the shot. Do you remember that one?
Yeah, I remember that shot, and I saw the same social media thing of the 10 shots, and I pushed it a little bit, so the pin was back right, and it's a tough pin for me. I like to turn the ball over, and back then I turned it over even more than I do now, and so it was a tough pin, and it started a little bit to the right of the flag, but drew in there, and so back then I leaned a lot that way. It always looked like I hit it offline, but I think that was just my normal reaction. And yeah, I think the best shot out of those 10 was actually the number 10 shot. So I don't agree with all of them in that order, but it was cool to see them.
Well, the one that they listed number 1, this was in your younger days a little bit, because this one goes back to 1999 in the Players' Championship, the par 4. And tell us about the Eagle 2 in that second shot.
Yeah,
was
and that's
unbelievable.
What I mean. Well, that was lucky. That's what I mean. I just tried to hit it on the green, and the gravity of that green took over, and it went down a ridge and a slope of the green, and it found the bottom of the hole. But like I said, I think the bunker shot out of the fairway bunker at the John Deere, which they didn't even show, which is fine, but that was probably the highlight of my career, is hitting a shot like that and then making the putt.
One final question. We're going to have Gary D'Amato on a little bit later on in the show. I understand there's an article coming out about your daughter, Bobby Stricker, huh?
Yes, I have not seen it yet. I don't know if it's out. I haven't been around home.
It's coming out next week.
See it. Oh, okay, good. Look forward to reading it. Yeah. I know Gary talked to Bobby, my daughter, and then myself and even Nikki. So, getting a little lowdown and look forward to reading it.
All right, Steve, and the best of luck this week at the Seniors PGA Championship. And hopefully number 2 is in the book right there for you after the weekend.
I appreciate it.
All right.
Thanks for having me.
That's Steve Stricker, and we'll be back after this time out on the Golf Effect Radio Network.
Hi, I'm Andy North. Join me and my friend Steve Stricker as we launch Birdies for Health at the American Family Insurance Championship, June 21st through 23rd. Birdies for Health is an effort to support American Family Children's Hospital, UW Carbone Cancer Center, and people experiencing organ transplants, Alzheimer's, and eye diseases. Make a pledge for every birdie that's made at this year's American Family Insurance Championship, and all the money you donate will go toward research and helping people in Wisconsin. Visit birdiesforhealth.org.
How does your home bring you to life? At Oak Park Place, life comes to you. You'll find comfortable living spaces and spacious apartments with all the features you expect in a place to call home. And Helping Hands provides support when you need it. Visit oakparkplace.com to learn more about assisted living, memory care, and rehabilitation services at Oak Park Place, East Madison, Baraboo, Janesville, and our newest location in Tacoma, just off Midvale Boulevard. We're here to help. Oak Park Place.
Last summer, the Golf Effect and Talking Golf were involved with Birdies to End Alzheimer's. This is Paul Brown, and on behalf of Dennis Tiziani and myself, we would like to thank everyone who donated to the Birdies campaign.
Dave, I still need that third number.
$60,000 was raised, and 100% of the proceeds were donated to the Alzheimer's and Dementia Research Center at UW Hospital. Thanks again for your support, and we hope that others will join us this summer as Birdies for Health will be part of the American Family Insurance Championship.
American Transmission Company moves electricity from where it's generated to communities where it's needed. Along the way, we help create an environment we can all appreciate. Animals find food in pollinator-friendly habitats we plant. Osprey nests on our platforms, and neighbors enjoy trails we help develop. At ATC, we care about the environment we all share. American Transmission Company, helping to keep the lights on, businesses running, and communities strong.
Driving rain, precipitation, downpour, cats and dogs. There are many names for bad weather, but to handle them, you only need one name: Mercedes-Benz with 4MATIC Permanent All-Wheel Drive. 4MATIC All-Wheel Drive enables better traction, giving you more certainty to negotiate surprises. So whether you're navigating slippery wet pavement or tricky off-road puddles, it helps give you more confidence in a thunderstorm, a deluge, wet stuff. 4MATIC All-Wheel Drive is available on more Mercedes-Benz models than ever before. Get the 2019 GLC 300 4MATIC starting at just $42,700. Mercedes-Benz, the best or nothing.
MSRP for a 2019 GLC 300 4MATIC excludes all options, taxes, title, registration, transportation charge, and dealer prep. Options, model availability, and actual dealer price may vary. Always drive carefully, consistent with conditions. See dealer for details.
Test drive the Mercedes-Benz 4MATIC at Zimbrick European on Rimrock Road off the Beltline, or shop ZimbrickEuropean.com.
It's time to play the University of Wisconsin golf course, University Ridge. Brand new bunkers and subtle design changes have only added to the excellent value of University Ridge, making it one of the best deals in the Midwest. The American Family Insurance Championship is just around the corner, but you can play one of the only public golf courses on the PGA Tour Champions prior to the event for under $100. For rate information or to book a tee time, check out universityridge.com. Play where the Badgers and the pros play. University Ridge.
And we're back on Talking Golf on the Golf Effect Radio Network, along with Dennis Tiziani. I'm Paul Brown, and joining us now is Gary D'Amato, who's in the car driving back from down in the Quad Cities, where he attended the media day for the John Deere Classic. But Gary, let's talk a little bit about, first of all, your impressions on the PGA Championship over the weekend.
Yeah, hi guys. Brooks Koepka the first 2 rounds, pretty incredible. Then he had to hold on a little bit. He's got a lot of fire in his belly. I really admire that about him. He's got the killer instinct, and Dustin made a little run at him, and too bad Dustin made those couple of bogeys coming in. But Brooks played fantastic golf for 3.5 days basically, and a deserving winner, I thought.
And Gary, when you the fans are the fans. And that kind of thing. But they kind of got on Koepka a little bit. In fact, they were chatting things like the choker at him and that kind of thing. I don't know about you, but I don't like that kind of crap. Do you?
No, not at all. Typical New York crowd, I think. A guy wins 4 of the last 8 major championships. I don't think you can call him a choker. I'd like to see someone else go out there and do what he's done. Pretty incredible golf, and to win the way he's won. This one he had to hold on a little bit, and it wasn't easy. But to win 4 major championships in 23 months, you're definitely not a choker.
And Dennis, while Steve's on, you wanted to go back and talk a little bit more about the setups and those kind of things, and in major championships and that kind of thing. And you've got some thoughts on some of that stuff.
Well, I spent some time there at the course, and it's just now. I don't think people want to see bogeys and double bogeys and triple bogeys. I think they want to see action like as in birdies, and maybe that's the way to, more of that. I think that they ought to get where you can have the course long if you want, but maybe make it long on your second shot in from the fairway. In other words, give them to drive at 280 to 290, maybe even 300, and then past that point, there's a problem. So it forced people to lay up so that we have more people shooting in from 170, 180, 120 yards in. I think you'll get a little bit more of a reception from not only players, puts more people in the game, but now you're down to a half a dozen people playing, tiger proofing Augusta National, right?
But that didn't work.
That didn't work. No, he just won again. But that's why they did what they did, is they wanted to make it longer. There's too many birdies. But what they found out is people want to watch it because it was exciting, just like this last one. But it was exciting because they were making some birdies.
Gary, any thoughts that you would have down those lines?
Yeah, I agree with his. One U.S. Open a year is enough. Where par is a great score and birdies are hard to come by. Maybe we can watch that once a year, but I wouldn't want to watch it 8, 10, 12 times a year. I wouldn't want to see it in every major. The Masters. The Masters is the Masters because guys make birdies and eagles on that back nine on Sunday, and that's what makes it one of the things that makes it such a great tournament to watch. Is you see those kind of things, you see that drama. And so, I like the U.S. Open where par is a good score, and that's fine, but I wouldn't want to see that on a weekly basis, that's for sure.
But realistically, Denny, do you think, Dennis, do you ever think that seriously that would make adjustments like that on the PGA Tour to turn it around to do that kind of thing?
The PGA Tour does that, but the PGA is different than the PGA Tour. PGA still tries to be like the USGA, and I think they're both kind of like Willie Nelson. They're half a beat behind, and but the PGA Tour, they constructed their golf courses. You'll see more and more tournaments going to PGA Tour type courses. That's what they're going to do, and that's what they've done. But they're exciting, all those, the Phoenix, all those places where they give you an opportunity at least on 6 to 8 holes where you can really fire and get birdies. I can see some of it, but Bethpage, it's narrow, it's long, it's elevated greens, force carries. It's everything that makes it really, really hard. Did we get the best winner? I guess he's won now 3 or 4 times. You can't argue that. But why is it that on these you heard Stevie carries the ball 305. For me, that's a driver and a pitching wedge just to get that distance. And I don't think people can relate to that. It's a wow factor. And people in New York are different. They like guys like not Willie Nelson. I was going to say that again, but they like it like who's a left-hander?
Phil Mickelson.
Phil Mickelson. They like Phil Mickelson, for whatever
I
reason.
can understand that. He's left-handed.
Yeah.
All left-handed people are nice people.
But they were laughing at him for a different reason, because he is left-handed. That's why they were laughing. No, I'm kidding.
And there's another left-hander in the back crowd there that'd agree with me. Roger Perkins is
I
back
spotted
there.
him. He's got a great haircut that he got just recently. So I spotted him.
But Gary, the rules haven't changed at Cherokee at the driving range. If Roger and I are up there and we're both hitting balls, and there's got to be another right-hander that comes up, either one of us, the left-handers have to sit down.
Maximum 2.
Yeah, and you're in the car. You're coming back from Media Day, the John Deere Classic, and fill us in. You had a conversation, I guess, about who won the tournament last year, and a little friendship or a challenge going on between him and Strick or something.
Yeah, Michael Kim, he was the defending champion, came in and did a nice job with his interview and someone, he set the John Deere record last year, 27 under. Talking about great play, and beat Steve's record by one shot. And we were joking with him about whether Steve's giving him a hard time about that. He said, no, I really haven't talked to him, but he said he's probably going to come back this year and probably try to break my record. So I don't know where Steve's going to play that week, but the gauntlet has been thrown down to try to break Michael Kim's record, 27 under.
I would think Steve would probably be at the John Deere, right? That's one of those tournaments that he feels a lot of loyalty over the years.
Well, he does, and they were very loyal to him in some of them times that were not so good. So, but he brings a lot of people there. Midwest Chicago people, Illinois people come up, Wisconsin. So it's a big crowd. If you take a look and when you go there, walk around, you can always tell where he is because that's where the crowd is, And he likes playing there, and he's got good record there, and they like him. He likes it, and some of those John Deere tractors that we have, very, very good.
Yeah.
So be nice to those boys, Steve, buddy boy, because we got a lot of farming to do. But
there's a story about some guys at a golf outing here in Madison, and they looked up on the hill at one point and they saw a Ford tractor. Is that correct?
Yeah, they saw Ford. What's it doing up there? So
good though. What the hell is that up on the hill there?
And we had to explain that's somebody else's. Don't worry about that. So we had to get rid of that. In fact, a friend of ours down in Blanchardville bought it, finally.
I forgot to ask Steve this question, so I can't get him back on the line, obviously. But when you look now at when they're talking about tournaments, like the Senior Tour this weekend, they're actually listing, no surprise to you probably, Steve is the favorite maybe to potentially win that tournament. How do you think he would react to that kind of a situation?
Well, knowing him, he doesn't. If he's sitting here, you would not know that he is who he is or what he is. He's not that type of person. And he tends to go ahead, as he did just recently, give a lot of credit to other people. But he's smart enough to do that. But if you give a credit to a lot of people and tell everybody how great they are, and then you go and beat them, what does that make you? So he's not stupid in that regard, But the fact remains is that, he has a great feeling for other people's feelings. And there's a reason why on the tour that they like him. If you ever walked in the locker room, you'd swear, Ben Hogan walked in when he's there, that people respect him a whole lot. And you can see the naming of him being the captain of the Ryder Cup.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that didn't meet with any resistance at all, even though some may think, it's because it's in Wisconsin and it makes sense. But he was on the docket to be that for quite a while.
And we're going to go back to Gary D'Amato. And Gary, in the U.S. Senior Women's Open, Wisconsin fared pretty well, didn't they?
How about that? Three women in the top 20. Yeah. Sue Ginter, Becky Iverson, who's over there by you guys in Madison at the Bridges, and Carolyn Barnett Howe. And I wanted to ask Tiz if he's ever. I know Carolyn played in a bunch of state opens, men's state opens, and Tiz, were you ever paired with her at any point, or have you ever seen her play?
I've had an opportunity to watch her hit balls and stuff, and conversations with her. She's a very good person. She's married to Steve Howe,
right?
And but she is she's a big girl. And she's strong. So right away that, gets her out there, and she has great hand strength, which is another thing that in teaching women, they're better suited for golf than, they're more supple, more concentration, more everything except for strength. And the strength is not core body strength as much as it's hand strength. And she has that way. Sue Ginter's the same way. And Becky Iverson, she was a tour player.
Right.
Yeah. So, you got a little bit of a carrier, but I'm happy to see that we're getting that. In fact, I think we talked about this on the last show. We want to do, we recognize that in our city, especially, that there's a lot of really, there's some potentially good women players. And now that we have a director of golf, women director of golf who plays very well too, going to try to do that attraction to spend some time with those girls to make them better. Give them a place where they can go ahead and we can develop them even a little bit more. So I'm happy for them. It's a big deal to have three people there.
And obviously, Gary, there'll be some interest in the story you're going to release in the next week or so. Understand you spend pretty good amount of time with Bobby Stricker, and they're doing an article on Bobby.
Yeah, delightful young lady. Obviously, not just saying this because Tiz is on the show and Steve's on the show, but great parenting there because she was a delight to interview. I spent about an hour with her and talked to Todd Orline, the coach, and Steve and Nikki about her. I think it's an amazing story that she didn't play high school golf, walked onto the team and redshirted, and a couple years later she finishes 38th in the Big Ten, and shoots an even par round in the final round of the Big Ten championship with basically not much of a competitive golf background. And I think it's a really cool story, and I'm halfway done writing it. It's probably going to be on Wisconsin.golf within a week. So had a lot of fun coming over to Madison talking to Bobby.
And you didn't stop here and see us? What's the matter with you?
Why should he? He's going right to the top. He's typical.
Yeah.
Go right past us.
He went right past the golf course and the whole thing, huh?
Yeah, right. Well, that's good.
Well, we know where we stand.
He's retired now. So.
We know where we stand on his list, huh?
No, I met her at U Ridge, guys, so I didn't go past there.
Anything on Wisconsin golf that you want to relate?
Well, we're going to be doing, Rob Hernandez and I are going to be covering the high school state championships coming up here in a week or so. And Pearson Hunt is going for his third straight. He won it from Arrowhead there, left-hander going to Illinois. Won it as a freshman and sophomore. And let's see if he can do it as a junior now.
Yeah, we're going to have Tom Shafransky on of the WIAA to talk about high school golf. In fact, we're going to do that in a few minutes. So, Gary, thanks for taking the time, and drive safe on your way back to Milwaukee.
Yeah, always my pleasure. Thank you, guys.
Okay, that's Gary D'Amato, and we'll be back on Talking Golf after this time out on the Golf Effect Radio Network.
Hi, I'm Andy North. Join me and my friend Steve Stricker as we launch Birdies for Health at the American Family Insurance Championship, June 21st through 23rd. Birdies for Health is an effort to support American Family Children's Hospital, UW Carbone Cancer Center, and people experiencing organ transplants, Alzheimer's, and eye diseases. Make a pledge for every birdie that's made at this year's American Family Insurance Championship, and all the money you donate will go toward research and helping people in Wisconsin. Visit birdiesforhealth.org.
Hi, this is Paul Brown, longtime Badgers sportscaster. My wife was only 57 years old when she started having trouble remembering things at work and getting lost driving home. That was the start of a heartbreaking 8-year journey that led to her eventual passing from Alzheimer's. Please don't ignore the 10 warning signs of Alzheimer's. Know where Alzheimer's hides. Find information at alz.org/Wisconsin.
Sponsored by the Alzheimer's Association.
Hi, this is Pat Richter. Whether choosing to make assisted living or memory care home, Oak Park Place offers a lifestyle centered around activities you enjoy, all with neighbors that become like family. You'll find independence when you want it, assistance when you need it. Oak Park Place. Our Wauwatosa community is located just off the expressway. For more information, call 414-292-0398. Our Oak Creek facility is scheduled to open in the fall. Visit oakparkplace.com to learn more.
At American Transmission Company, we help operate the most complex machine in the world, the grid. We know electricity is a necessity, and we help deliver it to communities that need it. We're helping build a more efficient, economical, and reliable electric system. Our ingenuity and innovation help deliver electricity that powers lives today and tomorrow. American Transmission Company, helping to keep the lights on, businesses running, and communities strong.
Right now, Cherokee Country Club is offering outstanding introductory golf memberships. You can join Cherokee as an individual member for $2,400. Depending on your age, you can get a family membership that starts at only $2,900. Check it out for yourself. What you're going to find is the best deal in Madison when it comes to joining a club. And by the way, your membership also allows you to use the outdoor pool. You can play tennis for court cost only and use all the facilities at the Princeton Club and go to the Madison Club. If you're a business, Cherokee offers a voucher program that allows you to purchase 20 rounds of golf, good for 18 holes with golf car for only $1,500. What a great way to entertain your clients, customers, or employees. Cherokee also offers memberships for swimming and indoor and outdoor tennis. And the public is welcome to use the driving range, restaurant, banquet facilities, and you can book a wedding there. For more information, call 249-1000 or visit the website at CherokeeCountryClub.net. Last summer, the Golf Effect and Talking Golf were involved with Birdies to End Alzheimer's. This is Paul Brown, and on behalf of Dennis Tiziani and myself, we would like to thank everyone who donated to the Birdies campaign. $60,000 was raised, and 100% of the proceeds were donated to the Alzheimer's and Dementia Research Center at UW Hospital. Thanks again for your support, and we hope that others will join us this summer as Birdies for Health will be part of the American Family Insurance Championship. Country Club in Madison, along with Dennis Tiziani. I'm Paul Brown, and before we go to Tom Shafransky, just want to mention that, Tiz, because the Birdies for Health website is already up now. Andy North is on the air with a spot talking about the event. And it's really a neat thing that's developed from what started last year with the Birdies for Alzheimer's.
No question. And I'm so happy that they got UW Health and AmFam together, and you can see right out of the chute, the marketing is different. In fact, there's money that's allocated to marketing. AmFam got behind it, put $100,000 in right away, and people have a choice now. We're partial to Alzheimer's, obviously, but the other parts of vision and
organ donation,
Alzheimer's
and cancer and Children's Hospital.
Yeah, those are all unique things. So the budget's going to go up. I mean, the earning budget's going to go up. I think the $1 million is what we're shooting for. And I think that they're going to get that, and it should be that way. And it's really good. I like what they're doing and having, because it wasn't marketing right. And, a big person in this, Tim Scott, iHeartRadio, stepped up at our meeting, and he gave probably an equivalent of $250,000 of airtime that he's giving to this at no charge, right? 5 weeks.
In Madison and Milwaukee.
Right. 5 weeks prior to the tournament. So now, from our little conversation that we had 2-3 years ago or whatever, it's growing like it should have gone through before. And I think, last night's program with Alzheimer's was awesome. We were up in the Dells, and, it's 300-400 people there.
Yeah.
And to see the reaction, and when I looked around and I saw the tears that were coming from some other people, we really, you did a good job. Bottom line, got a standing ovation for what you did, and rightly so. But it really, to be there and to listen to actually people that have to go through that business of taking care of people, and what you were able to do, plus everybody else, to give people a few steps that they could go, knowing what some of the consequences are, because that's a reality. It's here.
Yeah.
And whether we call it Alzheimer's or old age, I mean, it's going to be one of those things. So I'm looking forward to this thing. I'm looking forward to having Toby Keith here.
We're going to have Toby on the air.
I know it.
We're going to play his music, and we're going to find out what kind of golfer he is.
We go back. Well, he's terrible. He really is. He's not worth a damn, But he's a good guy. We spent some, as you know, time together and buddies, and he wants me to go down and shoot pigs out of his helicopter. I still can't get over it. I said, I'm not coming down there for that, but that's what he wants to do. Go down and shoot pigs out of his helicopter. We'll shoot 200-300, he says. Won't be a problem, but there'll be 200-300 tomorrow when we go there.
You got a favorite Toby Keith song?
Yeah, don't let the old man in. Do you know about that?
Yeah, well, you can relate the story if you want, real quick, and then we got to get to Tom, who's hanging on.
Who's the guy, the shooter? Who's the guy? Make my day.
Clint Eastwood?
Yeah, Clint Eastwood, Toby, and Steve. They're around the table, and Toby keeps asking them, because he's older than dirt. This guy. He's 90-some years, and Toby asked him, "Well, how do you do this?" Well, he says, "Don't let the old man in." So Toby picks up on that, goes back to, his hometown, and he writes a song. He writes the song, which I think was on the Mule or something like that, whatever show that they were just doing. Anyway, he writes the song, and Steve and they all met out there again. And next thing you know, he's got a kind of a hit song of "Don't Let the Old Man In." But that was the genesis of it, was that little around the table meeting of this guy saying, just don't let the old man in.
Well, okay, and now we're going to move on to Tom Shafransky of the WIAA. Tom, you got a country music lesson, didn't you?
Well, Paul, I have no idea how to follow that. That was great. except let me put it this way. Dennis came and helped us with our coaches clinic this past March, and there were quite a few coaches who before that were saying, don't let the old man in, but afterwards they wanted to hear more from him.
From the old man. Yeah, I got it. You're funny. It's the last time I'm coming there. No.
No, it's not.
I know it.
Tom, regional golf has already started for high school players in the state of Wisconsin. I got to start with the weather. What kind of challenges does this present for you all over the state, getting in competition for high school golfers?
Well, every year, Paul, it's a great question. We're monitoring every part of the state and trying to help everybody, as far as this goes. But, high school golf is a lot like college golf, and you just learn to play with when you're able to, and to get things in cooler weather, in wetter weather, under a lot of different conditions, and it kind of teaches you a lot about the game and a lot about being versatile and knowing that there are going to be different situations that you face all the time. So we really look at this, and as Dennis is hosting one of those, thanks for doing that, Dennis, with Waunakee, having one of the regionals come up there. It's always tough, but as long as courses remain playable, we're going to get our matches done, and we've got 40 different regional meets coming up today, tomorrow, and Wednesday. So it's going to be a bit of a challenge.
And when you say playable, what do you mean? I mean, how do you pick that criteria, or say it's playable or non-playable?
Well, we really leave a lot of, we really put a lot of trust in the PGA professionals and the people at those courses. They tell us, when things are unplayable or when different circumstances arrive. So, for instance, we've had a course already that one of their 9s they feel isn't playable, so we're just going to play the other 9 twice. You make adjustments as things go along. There was one course, one of their par 4s, they felt they could make it into a par 3, and so we just make adjustments with those things and allow the kids to get some competitive time in that way for the tournament. But it is, you just have to deal with each and every one of them one at a time. Certainly throughout the state, we have different soil conditions that we have to look at. Some are heavier soils over in the Fox Valley versus here in central Wisconsin, where we've got a lot of more of a sandy based scenario. So you work with the courses, and they kind of tell you where things are and give them options once various wet conditions arise.
We're chatting with Tom Shafransky of the WIAA. Tom, when you talk about competition and you list some schools, for an example, take a Middleton here or Waunakee and Madison. I'm sure there are other high schools around the state. You may have 40 or 50 kids out for golf. Then you've got smaller markets, smaller towns, where they maybe have 6 or 7, and that's the entire roster for that. Is there anything that you can do to get more people involved in the competition? I'm sure that's something you kind of think about or consider every year, isn't it?
Yeah, all the time, Paul. First of all, for boys, we're up to over 7,200 high school boys participating in high school golf here in Wisconsin. And with our girls program, Dennis, you're going to be happy about this. We've gotten over the 2,000 mark. Over 2,000 girls now participating in high school golf throughout the state. And the whole key is that, we provide an opportunity for competitive golf for all levels. We have, I was looking at scores here a little while ago in our first regional. We're going to have kids who shoot 150. We're going to have kids who shoot 130. We're going to have kids that shoot 110 in some of our regional competitions. That's fine as far as we're concerned. Our goal is to get kids involved in competitive opportunities in golf, because in that way, we think long term, they're going to be the ones who keep striving to get a little bit better and a little bit better as they get into adulthood and become competitive with other clubs and things like that around the state. And if we can keep our numbers growing, we've got a great opportunity to really grow our game as here in Wisconsin and around the country.
We're good. I mean, that's what it's what they're doing. And I made that point with, we're so happy that they have high school coaches and these teams going, because that's really the place where you're going to get people in the game. And they're doing a great job with it. Speaking of that, we have 8 girls out for the team at La Follette. They're going to be able to field a team this year, different than individuals, and they're just so happy about it. We take care of them out here. They come here every Wednesday, so a little bit more of that has to happen. But I do really think you need some help from some of the golf organizations in our state to get better, and I think you need a little bit of help from the people who are, from an education standpoint. Playing golf in April and May sucks. We shouldn't have that. We got to figure a way how we can get this thing going and extend it out into June at least. So these kids have who wants to play in this type of stuff? But because school gets done, got to figure a way how to expand this. Now, when we were coaching, they moved you'll notice the Big Ten, the women are done playing the Big Ten in the 3rd week in April. And the men the same way, they're all done. Well, and of course I got into it a little bit because I was on one of those boards and I'm listening to these guys from down south. They would want to play in February. Well, that completely eliminates the northern schools. And that was their goal. They eliminated the northern schools. And I think we got to go back a little bit and figure a way how some of these tournaments here, I mean, even now, May's a little bit early. These kids, they're going to school. They don't have a chance to practice. But, if they had a couple of weeks that they didn't have to go to school, that they could spend on the golf course, scores, participation, enthusiasm, all that stuff comes down. So I think you're doing a good job, but I think you need a little bit of help. PGA's got to get in the game a little bit more. WSGA certainly has to get in the game a little bit more. And then we need some help from the education department. So anyway,
other than that,
my phone is blowing up already. I pissed off a whole bunch of people already.
Tom, we want to thank you for your time and good luck with high school golf in Wisconsin. We'll be back after this time out on the Golf Effect Radio Network.
Hi, I'm Andy North. Join me and my friend Steve Stricker as we launch Birdies for Health at the American Family Insurance Championship, June 21st through 23rd. Birdies for Health is an effort to support American Family Children's Hospital, UW Carbone Cancer Center, and people experiencing organ transplants, Alzheimer's, and eye diseases. Make a pledge for every birdie that's made at this year's American Family Insurance Championship, and all the money you donate will go toward research and helping people in Wisconsin. Visit birdiesforhealth.org.
Hi, this is Dave Gary, the owner of the Princeton Clubs. Our summer launch event is going on now through May 18th with everything you need to get in shape for the summer, including the latest group training programs, our world-class facilities, plus special offers for current and new members through May 18th. Our For a Better Tomorrow campaign partner this month is UW Children's Hospital of Madison. For every new member, we make a donation to a local organization that's working hard to improve the communities wherever a Princeton Club is located. Summer is just a few weeks away, so I invite you to make a difference in your health today by joining the Princeton Club. And with our summer launch event going on, it's a great time to get started. I think you'll be surprised how much better you feel just after a few workouts. The Princeton Clubs, voted Madison's best health club year after year. Visit PrincetonClub.net for a free trial pass and to learn more about our summer launch event.
We're committed to excellence, the Princeton Club. We're committed to you.
Hi, this is Pat Richter. Oak Park Place offers a lifestyle centered around activities you enjoy, all with neighbors that become like family. Whether choosing to make assisted living or memory care home, you'll find independence when you want it, assistance when you need it. Oak Park Place. Our Wauwatosa community is located just off the expressway. For more information, call 414-292-0398. Our Oak Creek facility is scheduled to open in the fall. Visit oakparkplace.com to learn more.
Driving rain, precipitation, downpour, cats and dogs. There are many names for bad weather, but to handle them, you only need one name. Mercedes-Benz with 4MATIC Permanent All-Wheel Drive. 4MATIC All-Wheel Drive enables better traction, giving you more certainty to negotiate surprises. So whether you're navigating slippery wet pavement or tricky off-road puddles, it helps give you more confidence in a thunderstorm, a deluge, wet stuff.
4MATIC All-Wheel Drive is available on more Mercedes-Benz models than ever before. Get the 2019 GLC 300 4MATIC starting just $42,700.
Mercedes-Benz, the best.
You're going to have about 3.5.
MSRP for a 2019 GLC
Yep.
300 4MATIC excludes all options, taxes, title, registration, transportation charge, and dealer prep. Options, model availability, and actual dealer price may vary.
That's
Always
okay. It
drive
took me that
carefully,
long. I've
consistent
been
with
listening to you
conditions.
guys, and
See
it's
dealer for
yeah,
details.
we got about
Test
3.5.
drive the Mercedes-Benz 4MATIC at Zimbrick European on Rimrock Road off the Beltline, or shop ZimbrickEuropean.com.
It's time to play the University of Wisconsin golf course, University Ridge. Opening for play on May 1st with new bunkers and design changes, University Ridge is one of the best deals in the Midwest. The American Family Insurance Championship is less than 2 months away, but you can play one of the only public golf courses on the PGA Tour Champions prior to the event for under $100. For rate information or to book a tee time, check out universityridge.com. Play where the Badgers and the pros play, University Ridge.
Back on Talking Golf on the Golf Effect Radio Network, along with Kevin Ryan, Dave McCann. I'm Paul Brown. Dennis Tiziani is here. Dennis, you and I had a conversation last week, and just recapping it, we were talking about I'm not playing very well, but yet I seem to be practicing a lot more than I ever have, but I'm still not improving. You said to me, just play more. Question for you. For not only me, but for anybody that plays golf, if you're not playing as well and you just continue to practice or play and don't really know or understand how to correct what's wrong with your game, what do you do with that?
Is this about you, huh?
Well, yeah, it could be. Seriously. Yeah, seriously.
Well, but you're up there, and practicing and playing are two different things.
Okay.
Practicing, you're up there and you're hitting balls. But when you're playing, it's a different gig. And what you're talking about is I'm not hitting the ball well. Instead of buying clubs, why wouldn't you take a lesson?
I have
or two,
yeah,
or three.
Okay.
But not one isn't going to do it. You want to take a little bit of time, a lot of times, and do development, because you can stand there on a lesson for 1 hour and you get somebody who really can't hit it or should take 2 weeks off and quit or something.
That's what you told me to do once.
I know it. But you can't give it all to them. It's a little bit, a lot of times, and to find someone that you can relate to, that's going to take the time, that's available, and do half hours, do 20 minutes, and spend some of your money there instead of buying golf balls that you're hitting in the water all the time.
Well, that's why they use the gently used one, at $10 a dozen. We only got about a minute and a half left. You see in the pro tournament, they do specific drills, so to speak, when putting for practice. What would you suggest the average person do in practicing putting?
Well, there's a drill now you're talking about?
Yeah, you got a minute here.
Yeah, put the putter behind the ball and move the putter forward. Move the ball forward. Don't take a backstroke, just forward. So get used to releasing. That's what's called releasing the putter, rolling the ball. The big problem with most people is they hit the ball on the right side. You don't ever want to hit the ball. You put it on square and then let the putter go forward, release the ball. When you see that, you'll notice when you're doing it right, that the ball will start to look like it leaves the toe. In other words, you're putting it on square, and because the putter's going to the inside square, the ball will have a tendency to roll to the toe. But that's what you'll get where you put it on square. Don't hit it. A big item, your right wrist should not break to the right.
Okay.
Because when it breaks to the right, it has to come back to the left. That's hitting the ball, right?
Okay.
The other one, and most important, is
we're out of time.
So what?
We got to go. We're cutting you off. We had enough of you tonight.
Okay, don't ask me that question no more, because I ain't going to do it.
Along with Dennis Tiziani, I'm Paul Brown, and we might be back next week. We'll find out then. So join us for another edition of Talking Golf on the Golf Effect Radio Network.